On Tuesday, June 6, more than 30 combat clashes took place between the defense forces of Ukraine and the Russian occupiers. This is stated in the summary of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on Facebook. During the past day, the enemy launched 35 missile strikes using Kh-101, Kh-555 air-based cruise missiles. All missiles were destroyed by the forces and means of air defense of the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Also, the enemy carried out 41 airstrikes and launched 57 attacks from rocket salvo systems. Unfortunately, there are killed and wounded among the civilian population. Residential apartment buildings, private houses and other civilian infrastructure have been damaged. The probability of launching missile and air strikes throughout the territory of Ukraine remains high. The enemy continues to focus its main efforts on attempts to completely occupy the Luhansk and Donetsk regions. During the past 24 hours, more than 30 combat clashes took place. On the Volyn and Polishcha directions, the operational situation has not changed significantly. On the Seversk and Slobozhansk directions, the enemy carried out airstrikes in the Ohertsev area of the Kharkiv region. Carried out mortar and artillery shelling of Yelin, Kamyanka, Prowers, Karpovichy, Kostobobrev, Timonovichy, Medvedivka, Polohanivka settlements of the Chernyaev region, Saradina Buda, Shalyhine, Volfin, Katerinivka, Obody, Yastrubin, Popivka, Basivka, Zapsalia, Myropilsky, Glika Pisarivka, Rybovsky of the Sumy region, as well as Sotnitsky Kazakov, Baranivka, Veterinarn, Vysoka Yarua, Streleka, Hatish, Sinelnikov, Sihelm, Staricha, Vovchansk, Zabin, Karaikny, Zarikny, Pekenahi, Budarki, Vilkuvatka, Chuhunivka, Myliv, Gliki Berlik, Odradna, Fiholivka of the Kharkiv region. On the Kupiansk direction, during the past day, Novomlinsk, Fiholivka, Vorokna, Zapadna, Mashutivka, Lyman Pershi, Kyslivka, Tabayevka, Berestov of the Kharkiv region and Novoselivsky of the Luhansk region were subjected to enemy artillery and mortar fire. In the Lyman direction, during the past day, the enemy conducted unsuccessful offensive actions in the areas of the settlements of Kremina, Bilohorivka of the Luhansk region and Berestov of the Donetsk region. It carried out airstrikes near the settlements of Dubrova, Novosado, Spern, Vesel, Hurahorivka and Ivanivka of the Donetsk region. Nevsky, Bilohorivka of the Luhansk region and Verkhniokamyansk, Torsky, Spern, Rozdalivka of the Donetsk region were hit by artillery fire. In the Bakhmut direction, the enemy carried out offensive actions in the direction of Klishchiyevka, without success. Conducted an airstrike in the Bila-Hora area of the Donetsk region. Vashukivka, Malinivka, Tikhonivka, Orikovo-Vasilivka, Hurahorivka, Kalinivka, Ivanovsky, Stupochki, Bila-Hora, Oleksandro-Shultin, Ozaryanivka, Teresk and Pivnikny of the Donetsk region were affected by enemy artillery fire. The enemy did not conduct offensive operations in the Avdiivka direction. It carried out airstrikes in the Avdiivka area. It carried out artillery shelling of the areas of settlements of Novokolino, Avdiivka, Lastochkin, Vodian, Pervomaysk, Karlivka, Nevelsky of the Donetsk region. In the Mariinka direction, our defenders repelled all 13 enemy attacks in the area of the city of Mariinka. At the same time, the enemy launched airstrikes within the settlement of Hostre, Maximilianivka, Hiorhivka, Mariinka and Novomikhailivka of the Donetsk region were hit by artillery fire. In the Shakhtarsk direction, the enemy carried out airstrikes in the areas of the settlements of Vuhledar, Bohoyavlenka, Zolotaniva and Glika Novosilka. It shelled the settlements of Vuhledar, Prekostivka, Novokrainka, and Zolotaniva of the Donetsk region. The enemy continues to conduct defensive operations in the Zaporizhia and Kherson directions. It launched an airstrike on Olhaivsky, Zaporizhia region. It carried out artillery shelling of the settlements of Vermivka, Novopil, Donetsk region, Temirivka, Olhaivsky, Poltavka, Malinivka, Huliaipol, Zaliznikny, Charivny, Bilahiria, Stepov and Kamyansk of the Zaporizhia region, Nikopol, Dnepropetrovsk region, Odradokamyanka, Antonivka of the Kherson region and the city of Kherson. Over the past day, the aviation of the defense forces has struck 17 strikes on areas where personnel are concentrated and 4 strikes on the enemy's anti-aircraft missile systems. Also, during the past day, a Russian attack aircraft Su-25 and 4 reconnaissance UAVs were destroyed. Units of missile forces and artillery hit 9 control points, 4 areas of concentration of manpower, weapons and military equipment, 3 ammunition depots, an anti-aircraft missile complex, 14 enemy artillery units in firing positions and 18 other important enemy targets. As Ukrainian news agency earlier reported, on the night of June 6, the Russians blew up the Kakhovska HPP. The Defense Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine stated that they have evidence of the use of explosives to detonate the Kakhovska HPP. According to preliminary conclusions, there is no reason to think that the dam is tired. President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that the consequences of the occupiers' undermining of the Kakhovska HPP dam will be clear in about a week, after the water begins to recede. The General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces reported on June 7 that Russia has lost 212,030 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of its full-scale invasion in February 2022, with an estimated 880 casualties on June 6. Ukraine's Air Force launches 15 strikes on enemy positions, General Staff. Ukraine's Air Force launched 5 strikes on the areas of concentration of Russian troops, while missile units destroyed 2 enemy anti-aircraft missile systems and 1 radar station in the past 24 hours. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine said this in its evening update published on Facebook, Ukrinform reports. Aircraft of the Defense Forces launched 15 strikes on enemy manpower clusters and 2 strikes on anti-aircraft missile systems. Our defenders destroyed 4 enemy reconnaissance UAVs, the report says. Units of the missile forces and artillery hit 4 enemy command posts, 1 personnel cluster, 3 ammunition depots, 1 weapons and military equipment cluster, 2 anti-aircraft missile systems and 1 radar station. The General Staff also reported that the enemy launched 28 airstrikes and about 20 MLRS attacks on the positions of Ukrainian troops and populated areas in the past day. In addition to destroyed infrastructure, civilians have suffered. The threat of further missile attacks and airstrikes across the entire territory of Ukraine remains very high. As reported, from February 24, 2022 to June 7, 2023, the Defense Forces of Ukraine eliminated about 212,030 Russian invaders, including 880 occupiers over the past day alone.